Well, yeah, we
So
take it
what's
outside.
up?
We ain't on business.
Meet me outside then. You trying to take it outside? Don't let this suit and tie fool you, bro. Whenever you ready, son.
I ain't scared.
Whenever
you
you
went
ready.
to HR, that's the reason why I ain't on your behind.
Whenever
now.
you ready to take
so let's
a walk
take it
on the
outside.
wild
I'm
side.
tired of you always talking trash. You always talking junk. You think you know everything because you the business side. Well, let's take it outside. So I was recently watching DJ Head versus Maul, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm extremely disappointed in the turnout of that. I thought that was gonna lead to some type of compromise. It was gonna end off the stand wars that we've been having for the last year, man. And it just showed me how split of a country we really do have.
We not gonna say he rap better than Drake on Not Like Us versus Family Matters. No way.
I like to link the micro with the macro, and what we're seeing with the current administration is very much what we're seeing in hip hop. It ain't about hip hop anymore. It ain't about politics. It's about people's personal beliefs, people's personal ideologies, and the sides that they have taken. It ain't about the music, because if you ask me, ain't no person that is actually listening to the music and watching the beef could say that Drake out-barred Kendrick, out-strategized Kendrick, out-hit Kendrick.
If you do you crazy as you, not the camera, you.
Kendrick's strategy overall, everything he did was way better than Drake. He did more hits. He had a better strategy while dropping Meet the Grams. He dressed better. He performed better. He got his homies together. Drake started out the beef saying, your merch money feeding us. Your tour money feeding us. We got the better splits. Let's see your splits. And then Drake ended off the beef by saying, oh, the label ain't cool with me. The label hate me because we renegotiated. They tried to stop me.
What?
But at the beginning, it was, yo, I got the label. I got all the support. I'm tough. Now, at the end of the beef is, oh, they trying to conspire against me.
I'm gonna sue.
It's just so many narratives switch, and that's what shows me who the winner was. I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna do a live reaction to this Maul and DJ Head thing, and to say, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, when Rory and Maul broke up with Joe Budden, I chose and I picked the side of Rory and Maul. Personally, I just felt what they were doing at the time was, it felt realer than what Joe was doing, you know. And but then after watching this now, I don't know how to feel about Maul, and I kind of gotta look at the way he's been treating Joe Budden with the side eye, because Maul is delusional.
You come off as very delusional in the way that you approach your argument.
I love that.
Yeah. I actually envy it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. There's no, if you look at the word for word, bar for bars, there's nothing that Drake said to Kendrick that was actually dope on Family Matters. Now, I will admit, what Drake did to A$AP Rocky and what Drake did to Rick Ross and what he did to The Weeknd was hard. I ain't gonna lie, they gotta get some get back for that. He crushed them. But everything he said towards Kendrick Lamar was a snooze fest. The best bar was hate, was shade, was envy, was jealousy. Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand me them Grammy right now. Hey. That's jealousy. And it's the best bar. It actually just shows how much of a hater you are, because you know you want them Grammys. You try to make it seem, Drake try to make it seem like he be boy kind of Grammy, but he know he want them Grammys. But this just showed me how much this battle wasn't about the music. It wasn't about the hip hop.
Yeah, I love that I come off delusional, because I know exactly what the I'm saying and why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But again, I can't speak on certain things publicly, so.
Everybody will say, oh, you a Kendrick Glazer. I'm not a Glazer, bro. I've dropped multiple videos that'll show you I love hip hop first. That was the worst thing that came out this battle. I think Rob has talked, everybody has talked about this. The worst thing to come out this battle is that it's not about hip hop no more. It's about stan wars. This display, this beef between DJ Head, which DJ Head is not a stan. Let me just say that. DJ Head is not a stan. DJ Head is probably a family of TDE. TDE and Kendrick is the West Coast, and DJ Head is from the West Coast. So he has more of a reason to be a stan than Maul, but that's neither here nor there. I believe if New York had a contender of the big three, Maul would not be this crazy for Bud. I feel as though New York has just been void of a contender for a very long time. Shout out to Nicki, shout out to Cardi, shout out to Pop, R.I.P. But they haven't had what Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole is, right? That's why we try to claim J. Cole low key, and we kind of claim Drake as being from New York, because I don't know. I don't know what that's about, because the business don't make sense. Everybody's saying there's grand conspiracy that Rock Nation is trying to stop Drake. OVO Mall, MAGA Mall is from the Rockefeller camp. They're trying to shape all these narratives and change these narratives from the start of the beef to now. And what Mall displayed was the reason why I'm not doing no Euphoria breakdown. I'm not doing no Not Like Us breakdowns, because it was clear to me. I'm not trying to convince people who are clearly biased, right? This is what Mall displayed. And that's what this whole year has been about. Showing people who are clearly biased, who prefer something and aren't looking at the facts. Strategy, better strategy, Kendrick. Better entendres. Kendrick had better entendres. There's nothing better than, I believe when you see Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad chickens. That's real competition. You might pop ass with them. Let's speak on percentage, right? Everything Kendrick did showed out to be true throughout the battle. Let's see, the label really, you really cool with the label. All right, let's see what you got. Now all of a sudden, he ain't cool with the label. Now all of a sudden, you seeing Baka gotta wear cakes.
Student knowledge.
Right now you can see how all the OVO team is trying to imitate this violence, right? They trying to be thugs, top 5. Everything Kendrick said literally played out in the beef. And I just don't know how you can't see that.
This was a moment. It was a battle. It was like, all right, let's have some fun. He's taking too long to respond. You know, what are some of the West Coast, you know, Mount Rushmores? What would they say in this moment to Kendrick if they could speak to him and get him in a room? I think that was Drake's mindset. Like, yo, we doing this or not, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you jumped out there with the verse. Let's do it. Like, I'm fresh off tour. I'm in the studio. I'm not sleeping. I'm up. I'm ready for this moment. Like, what are you doing?
If you don't use drugs, you can just about be anything you want to be.
Objectively speaking, I'm from Harlem, I'm from New York. ASAP got to get that get back, because what he did to him, even though I ain't gonna lie, ASAP winning, he got Rihanna, he ain't in jail, he living his best life. Don't be dumb about to come out. I'm excited for ASAP, but he got to get that get back on Drake, because Drake went crazy. Rick Ross as well. I can admit that. I can admit where Drake did really well, but I can also tell you where most of his theories and his angles were half baked. Bringing up CB, bringing up YG, bringing up all of these people when you grew up on Degrassi is crazy. Nothing Drake did showed me that he had a better pen, that he was a better chess player, he had better strategy, he had better hits. Kendrick outperformed him at every opportunity. But there's no reason to argue with these people, because it's not about the bars. It's about what they see themselves as. It's about being a contrarian. It's about being different. And Maul seems like one of those people. The way he went about the whole Joe Budden thing, not to bring that up, go look at that. Go look at the whole Joe Budden, Rory, and Maul beef. It'll show you maybe Joe wasn't as crazy. And I sided with Rory and Maul. You go on some of their early videos when they first got started, man, I was commenting. I reviewed Rory's album. I like Rory and Maul. I think the combination of Rory, Maul, and Damaris is some of the best content. Outside of their takes on the beef, they got some of the best content. I'm not gonna lie. There's some of the best podcasters. They are slept on. I'm not gonna sit here, they not. But when it comes to this, man, they are delusional. And DJ Head presented himself perfectly.
Consistently and egregiously encroach on this line that people have set forth as that's their comfort zone for the things that you say.
He didn't crash out. He didn't yell. He didn't try to out yell him and make it seem like he tougher than him and it's about this and that. No, he just laid his points out simple. And Maul is the one that made himself look like an idiot. And I feel as though that's what this has been about this whole year. Rob Markman has talked about it. All of the stand-up is not hip hop. I personally want to get back to hip hop. And that's the reason why I'm going to say, yeah, maybe there was some static at TDE. I'll give Drake credit. So there is some credit that I would like to give Drake. But winning the battle, better bars, better strategy.
I study rap battles for a living.
Nah, that's crazy. And that's the reason why I haven't been as like, I don't do the videos over and over. I like having hip hop conversations. This beef was amazing. Don't get me wrong. It was clear and cut and dry to me. Personally, it was cut and dry to me. I like hip hop. I'm not a Kendrick stan. Yes, I'm a Kendrick fan. But as you can see here, I got Back to the Future, the soundtrack. I got Chromacopia. I got Mac Miller. You'll see Jimi Hendrix. I like music. I love black music. I love black culture. You know, for me, this battle was amazing because, yeah, I got popular. I got a platform, all of that good stuff. But the worst part of this battle was the fact that now hip hop is in complete stan culture. You on one side or the other, and it's very similar to what we're seeing in politics, that we're living in two Americas. I don't know why a poor person would think this current administration is looking out for them. I don't know why. Same thing with the Drake stance. I don't know why they believe that a person who has propped themselves up as the industry darling their entire career, all of a sudden, once they take a loss, all the industry is against me. I don't know how. I don't know how you start off the battle saying, let me see your splits, your merch money feeding us to now we suing.
Homie made niggas sue, man. That shit is crazy, bro. Now that you really think about it, bro, like.
For that alone, Kendrick wins, because the way Drake started the battle is not the way he ended the battle. Drake got outperformed in every metric. I don't know why people still even debating it. For me, I want to move on. Let's move on. Let's move away from this battle. It was amazing. It was great for hip hop. We got to see the biggest and the best do it at the highest level. I ain't gonna lie. I'm extremely happy and I'm extremely blessed that not only did I get to witness it, but I created a platform off of this. But for me, I want to move on to something. We got to move on, especially us Kendrick Kendrick people. Don't get me wrong. I will sit here and admit I like a lot of Drake songs. Baby girl, it's addictive. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not him. But like always, my favorite part of Drake songs is never Drake. I'm just gonna say that. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I ain't like some of the Drake Away From Home songs. I like a lot of what Drake has done in the most recent years. I'm not gonna sit here and say that my man won the beef. No metric has him winning. He smashed ASAP Rocky. He smashed Rick Ross. He smashed The Weeknd. The Weeknd was going crazy. I can never have a hide one. Yo, The Weeknd was going crazy on my boy, but back in the day. If you go listen to some of the Weeknd songs, he used to smash on Drake. But honestly, there's nothing in me that could pick Drake as the winner. No metric. So if you just look at how the beef started and see where it ended, everything that Drake had confidence in was stripped from him. Every angle that Drake had was stripped from him. TDE got back together. They did the pop out. He came and got LA unified. Everything that Drake tried to take a jab at, Kendrick proved it times 2. He's on a stadium tour right now. He's selling out stadiums, not arenas, stadiums. He's doing it at the biggest level. He's created hits. He's going #1. For this to turn into a conspiracy, it pisses me off. I hate the fact that this has turned into some grandiose conspiracy and that Kendrick fans are bots. Kendrick fans are paid for, when literally Drake has been the media, the industry darling for years. Let me just give y'all this statistic. Drake started being extremely successful he started to be the #1 artist during the streaming era. Literally the streaming era was put on his back. The matrix for art and music was literally created off of Drake's back. Message. Drake doesn't do a lot of physical sales. Drake doesn't do a lot of album sales. Most of his streaming numbers come from his back catalog. Isn't it funny that 50% of the internet is bots? Message. You know, another thing I don't like is how all the narratives have switches. Now that Kendrick is becoming successful, it's like conscious artists have to be pigeonholed and being losers. And now that Kendrick is on Chanel, and they have switched the narrative every chance they got. And it's this ultimate conspiracy, right? And I hate that in black culture, how black culture, we always get this conspiracy that everything we do, the system making us do it, and we never get to pick. And that's what the Drake fans have been utilizing. They've been utilizing that age-old, it's a conspiracy, you only like him because he woke, you only like him because it's this, you only like him because that. The narrative has switched so much with the Drake stands that you know that this isn't about hip hop. It's about creating a narrative and sticking to a side. What that side does, right? Ain't it funny that Maul's nicknames on his own show is MAGA Maul and OVO Maul? Once you start knowing New York, a lot of them dudes that's over 40 in New York, they feel some type of way about the East Coast West Coast beef, and they gonna stand on their side. So I wish DJ Head could have engaged a little bit more, but knowing where he come from and knowing his background, I understand why he didn't. And it was smart for him to do that because he made Maul look like more of a delusional idiot that everybody's been saying. That's the reason why they've been popping on the net recently. And the crazy thing is they have really good takes. Roy and Maul and Damaris are really good podcasters. But when they start talking about this Drake stuff, when they start talking about this Drake Kendrick beef, they lose credibility on anything else they're talking about because it's obvious. To me, it's pretty obvious that Drake lost. Every metric says that he lost. He even believes he lost because he's suing his company. He's suing UMG because he feels as though he lost. Man, this stand stuff is annoying. I hope we can get more back to hip hop. And you know, that's the reason why I haven't talked about the 1 year anniversary. None of that. Because to me, it seems like everybody that's doing that is trying to convince the other side that there was actually a beef. Like there was actually like some type of like it was a wash. It was like 5-0. We looking at it, it was 5-0. Push-ups wasn't good. Family Matters wasn't good. Like I said, anytime Drake addressed Kendrick, it was lackluster. When he addressed ASAP, when he had punching power, he knocked people out. But he didn't have enough punching power. He didn't have enough tools in his arsenal to go at Kendrick. And Kendrick washed him at every opportunity. So yeah, man, one of the main things I hate is that this is an ultimate conspiracy. When really, if you look at the numbers, if you look at everything Drake has stood for throughout his career, he's the ultimate conspiracy theorist. He is the one that makes his name and solely off of streaming. Why he didn't go independent? You had an opportunity to go independent. You signed because you wanted to show everybody. You wanted to buy people's rights to music. I've been saying this for a long time. Drake has been trying to get that Sony Michael Jackson deal where he owned half of the company. He owns people merch. He owns people rights. He been trying to do that. And that's what he was doing because he's spiteful, right? He's never respected our hip hop legends. He's always had a chip on his shoulder. And he's always been trying to prove that, yeah, I'm going to be the best business. I'm going to be the best hit. I'm going to be the best everything. And he lost. His arrogance and his ego and his big head, his inflated ego and his big head lost him this battle at any metric. So when I see this whole thing between DJ Head and Maul, I'm glad DJ Head didn't go hard because it makes no sense. Good dope sells itself. He didn't have to yell. He didn't have to do none of that. Look at the numbers. Go look at the tour. Go look at what's happening in actuality. You could think all day what you want. And you know, hip hop is art, so it's subjective. I'm trying to move past the conversation. I'm trying to move past it because to me, honestly, it for one is going to pigeonhole a lot of content creators. It's going to pigeonhole the conversation. There's great conversations happen right now. Little Sims, Doechii, Westside Gun, Ray Vaughn. There's a lot of other conversations right now, but everybody's focusing on still trying to prove to one side or the other who's right or who's wrong. I don't care about none of that. I listen to the music as a person who writes music, as a person who came up with a diss song to the Aubrey Angels. I ain't hating on you, brother, man. Go do what you do. You rather blow hookah while me. I'd rather improve hyperbolic chamber doing push-ups for G to go cool. Then pass me the plate and I'm in your house eating your food. This a robbery. Hands up. Nobody move. Bob the Builder pass me my tool. Then I'm fixing your mood. I could write. And that's to the Churchill Downs beat. That's literally Drake and Jack Harlow. So I could write. So as a person who write, as a person who's been watching this, who listens to all type of music, there's no metric in which I can say Drake won. And that's what this is about. This has nothing to do with the music. This is about stan wars. This is people trying to insinuate violence now. That was the number one thing that pissed me off about what Maul did. Maul kept talking about, you know what that mean? You can't just throw somebody on that jacket. I hope he stopped performing the record. I hope he stopped doing this. It's like, dog, your man's is still dissing. Your man still just made a whole album, only made the videos with him in it, kind of left Party out, and still sneak dissing. Oh, it's up for life. You put money in the streets. That could have turned it physical. That could have turned it to something else. If that money got in the hand of a crash dummy, Drake has been playing these games behind the scenes for years. It finally came back to bite his ass. And if you ask me, he just need to move on. Everybody just need to move on. But like I said, this ain't about hip hop no more. This is about stans. This is a stan war. And I don't want no parts of it. I will criticize Kendrick. I would criticize TDE. I would criticize Drake. I would criticize anybody. I will talk about anybody. I will be objective and subjective to anybody because I'm a hip hop fan. I love the art of hip hop, and what we've been seeing ain't been about hip hop. It been about anything other than hip hop. The Drake stans have changed their narrative time and time and time again. Kendrick fans, I say don't engage because what else does Drake really have right now? That's all I got to say for today, man. The stan wars are annoying, man. Rob Markman has talked about it. We all talked about it. I'm over the stan wars. I'm here for hip hop. Hip hop is the biggest winner, but also at the same time, hip hop is the biggest losers because now we got stans and you can't be objective or subjective. You can't like a Drake song. You can't not like a Kendrick song. It's just weird. And I ain't no stan account. Anything that I feel as though I have a different opinion on or I can creatively attack it, I'm going to talk about it. So make sure you comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a video. Join to be a member in the description. Donate to this Cash App if you want to help the channel out. I appreciate y'all. Let me know how you feeling in the comment section. And remember, I'm not here to be right. I'm just here to be me. If you're looking for the right opinion, hey, I don't know where you can find that, but you just got my opinion. I hope you can deal with it. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. I'm out of here. Read my soul out. Peace.